and welcome everybody to another episode of Original Box Sets, The Magic Shop.
The Magic Shop.
You know, I sometimes feel like I'm like a TV announcer, like I'm in some sort of like specialized service where my information and face in these games are broadcast across a large medium and there's a bunch of people watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that sometimes.
How does that make you feel?
Like he needs better ratings?
Yeah! Like and share. Welcome,
like
radio.
And share. Like and share.
Like and share.
Nerd.
YouTube it. Actually, the new thing is ring the bell, so you get notifications.
Yeah.
Welcome, radio, and you were correct. The last time we left off, they were on a cliff hanger.
Yep.
I love it.
And there was a boat that was thrown at us, or was about to
Yes.
be.
Nope, the boat had been thrown at you,
Yes.
and it was destroyed. The water elemental had retaliated after you guys had ran over its head by attacking you with a tidal surge. And then as you fled, he decided to take your boat and throw it after you. Maybe he was just being friendly and didn't understand the concept that the boat would smash against the rocks.
Occam's razor.
I don't know.
Completely misunderstanding of the situation. That's exactly what's going on. The elemental was just being friendly.
I'm not so sure about that.
It probably had a bad morning. It didn't get its coffee because the coffee pot broke. And
Its cat pooped on its own tail.
Yep, the cat's pooped on its own tail, and it wouldn't let it clean it up, and cried all the time, and then it just finally settled in for its day, and then it got a horrible phone call, and it stressed him out, and then
A boat ran over
a
his
boat
head.
ran over his head. And that was the last.
That sounds more like your guys' day than the water's
Yeah, that was
day.
the last straw. And then he rage quit and threw a boat.
I threw a boat and they were dolphins. I don't know the song, and I'm going to butcher it if I try.
Yeah, don't just.
She loves that song.
I do, so don't ruin it.
So we are on a cliff. There is two sides you can go down the cliff sides, and then there's a trail that goes along the top of the cliff. One side leads back down to the ocean. The other side leads down into a slightly forest with some of the trees being browned and grayed and missing leaves. The trail that you're on stretches toward what looks to be a very large tower in one direction, and the other direction, the trail, which is on top of this cliff, stretches down and into a swampy-looking terrain, which is a lot more lush than the forest that is nearby. The badger had climbed up the cliff and partially down the other side, while the rest of the team had clambered up to the cliff facing and found refuge amongst the jagged rocks at the top, except for the flying raisin. She took to the air to avoid any collateral damage and has yet to be seen from.
Yay!
So now we're caught up with where the last game ended off. The tidal waters are surging. Large distorted face in the water erupts every time the waves surge in, and he seems like he's trying to climb the wall, but he's not able to get a good grip. And
Is it slippery?
It's very
it's wet?
slippery. Slippery when it's wet. Someone should put out a sign. And so that's where we're at this point in time. He's unable to climb the wall to get up to you guys, and we will start off with the badger. I should say, Sephara, what would you like to do?
Well, I was currently seeking shelter a little bit down the hill because of the water elemental throwing the boat.
So it's not a hill. It's a cliff. It's a very high, steep mountain.
You are correct.
And
Behind, I was seeking shelter a little ways down the cliff.
meaning like toward the large ominous tower or toward the dangerous looking swamp or off the backside of this very steep cliff and into this dead forest
Where the boat went.
where the boat went.
A little bit towards the dead forest, if I remember
That is
correctly.
correct. So you are on the opposite side. The boat went over your head and crashed in and landed part of it in a tree and the other part fell to the forest floor below. Crashing
Yes.
and breaking. Sound of destruction. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to check on the two that I've been dragging along with me. The gnome on one shoulder, and then the salesman who's a salesman, the boatman who I've been dragging along to make sure that both of them are okay now that we're at safety.
The boatman does not seem to be okay. His face has lost color. His mouth hangs open. His eyes are small, and he just glares beneath you down into the dead forest at the remnants of his boat. A hand reaching out as if trying to grasp some sort of specter that none of you can see. And the words that are trying to form in his mouth just fail as he's. The gnome, on the other hand, Evan, you're playing a deep gnome, right?
No, one vanilla for that. So a standard rock gnome,
Oh,
Standard rock gnome.
also known as the gnome in the player's handbook.
Ah.
The ruddy skin colored. I'm assuming that you're being a rock gnome. You have that ruddy skin tone that
Absolutely, yep.
off like a reddish peach tone. And so the ruddy skin tone gnome that's been riding on your shoulders, what is he doing?
He's enjoying the ride, and, well, I shouldn't say he is. I'm enjoying the ride, and am kind of snuggling out next to the furry badger. She's my friend.
Huge furry shoulders too. So, Badger, Safara, you now have an idea what your two compatriots are doing. You can see Zarkosa is behind some cover from not too far away from you. As far as it goes for the pixie, whose name escapes you, she cannot be seen.
Katinka is her name.
No, it escapes you right now. I know what her name is.
So I will place my gnome friend down and look to the boatsman. Apologies about your craft, friend.
Is the only response you get from him.
Well, at least he's all right and not dead.
All right. So you've taken a round to check on everybody. As far as it goes, you don't need to make a heal check or anything. No one looks like they actually took any damage or were hit by the boat itself or any of the after effects. So as far as that goes, everybody seems to be okay except for the missing pixie, whose name you've just remembered is Katinka.
Oh, good.
She has not been seen. You do know that she was flying prior to the boat launch.
She's probably around here somewhere, though. Knowing her.
And if she's not, she has insurance. She'll be okay.
Yeah, she'll be fine. It's the boatsman that I'm more worried about. With him looking so pale and ill, almost.
Okay. This is where you continue on with your course of thought. How do you want to approach this? This is your scene.
Sorry, I'm thinking.
Okay.
um... Cheer up, friend. Who knows? It might still be in a few large pieces. You might be able to put it back together.
Your character's pretty wise. I don't know if you'd say something like that.
I'm trying to be nice, okay?
No, that's true. That's true. I don't know. What was your wisdom score?
My total wisdom is a 14.
For a monk, where did you put all your stats at?
Do.
I bet it's dexterity.
My highest stat is my strength. Sorry, yeah, my dex. My dex is a 19 in total.
Okay, all right. So you inform the boatman that, at least maybe there's some big pieces down there. And he just becomes flabbergasted. His lip quivers and words form and he says, "That was my livelihood. You destroyed my livelihood," he yells out loudly.
Telepathically, I communicate to my friend the badger. Do you want me to calm him down for you?
I am not sure how to communicate back, to be honest.
Just a nod will suffice.
So the man looks to you and says, "Communicate back? You broke my boat. You can communicate with money. That's how you can communicate back. You and the whole lot of you. You can pay for my boat repairs."
At this point, I will just nod my head to the gnome. I did not mean to say that out loud.
The man at this point in time picks up a stick and he begins thrusting it around toward the remnants of his boat. "That piece is big enough. There's probably some supplies down there. You and you," pointing at the badger and the gnome, "let's go down there and get some of that stuff so that at least we have supplies while we wait for a rescue team. Somewhere safe, far away from this accursed area." And he waves his stick, his newfound sword, in the direction of the large keep nearby. Zarkosa?
Large keep nearby. That's kind of where we're supposed to be heading, isn't it?
Generally it is when you do these kind of things.
Yes.
You wind up in some lone, remote place and the only building around, the scroll happens to the scroll points toward it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lovely idea, my friend. Come along. We'll go scout ahead while they retrieve the pieces of your boat.
He just says, No, I'm not going that way. And he gestures toward the keep. "That's the keep of Poisonous Tears. I'm not going anywhere near it."
Well, suit yourself. I'm pretty sure you'll be safer with us, though. And I start moving, just walking semi-casually towards the keep.
Okay.
Because I don't care about going down to get his boat. It's an unfortunate turn of events.
Is it? Very inland. What are your little gnomish tricks up to?
I kind of smile at him and try to disguise a small spell.
Okay.
So, if I remember correctly, with my sleight of hand, I get a +4 bonus.
You do. Because everyone can hide spell casting, but you get bonuses to hide spell casting. Whenever you, there we go. 17. Excellent. Okay.
So that's to hide the spell.
That's correct. He seems very intent on arguing with Zakosa and using his stick to emphasize his superiority at this point in time, because he's got a stick, nobody else does, about how he's not going to that keep and we're going down there to get his boat.
Alright, so I'll be casting Hypnotic Pattern.
Okay.
So first I roll 2d4 and add my caster level, maximum of 10, to determine the total number of hit dice of creatures affected. Creatures with the fewest hit dice are affected first. And if they fail their will save, they are fascinated for my concentration plus 2 rounds.
Alrighty then. Let's see what that 2d4 turns out to be.
So that's 10.
10 hit dice worth. Now that's an area effect spell. If others of your troop look at it, they might also have to make that same save.
Hopefully only the badger is there, and I can cover her eyes.
Well, Zarkosa is walking toward the castle. She already stated that. So the badger is the only one that would be looking at it. You need to make a reflex roll after casting your spell to cover the badger's eyes. Yep, definitely 10-foot radius. People looking upon it will negate. An 8. Excellent. You're able to cover the badger's eyes enough to give her a +4 bonus for her will save.
Wonderful.
All right.
Jumps like up and crawls over her.
No, he's been sitting next to her
Oh,
head.
yeah, oh, yeah,
So
that's
after
right.
flinging his little fingers around, he quickly wraps his hands around the badger's head as if some sort of hugging embrace. Alrighty then. I'm going to reach over here and roll the merchant's will save. He's a merchant, so I think his wisdom score is high enough to give him a +1. So let's see. There's the d20. And we'll roll that. He got a 1. So he fails. There's no bonuses, no modifiers. We'll fix this. He has fallen victim to the hypnotic pattern. All right. Sephara, you need to roll versus the hypnotic pattern, and you have a +4 to do so.
You said a +4, correct?
Yes, +4 to your will save.
So I rolled a 2. My will is a 6. Do I add that in or just the +4?
The 6 as well.
Alrighty. So that's 12 in total.
All right. Does a 12 beat your the DC required?
DC is 10 plus the caster level plus spell level.
Yeah.
Oh, right, caster.
No, not caster level. Primary casting
Stat.
modifiers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Ah,
Then I did it right, because I was writing that down.
unfortunately not. No.
Yeah, so 12 is the minimum plus your stat modifier, which is probably, what, a +5?
That's correct, yeah.
So it needed to be a 17.
Ag!
Whoopsie.
So as you whittle your fingers quickly and dash for a hug on the badger's head. She tells you, stop it. As she pushes your hands away, she stares at the glittering lights and slowly succumbs to their magical powers. Sephara,
Pity.
you are fascinated as long as the spell is enacted.
Yay!
All right, so we know what Zarkosa is doing, and we know what the badger do as well. The badger and the boatman is doing. What is the gnome doing? Very inland.
I wonder. No, that spell doesn't work. I will continue concentrating on the spell, but attempt to push the badger away from it.
Okay, she can take no action. It takes penalty. Any potential threats, such as a hostile creature approaching, allows the fascinated creature a new saving throw against the fascination effect. Any obvious threats, such as someone drawing a weapon, casting a spell, or aiming a ranged weapon at them, will also automatically break the effect. So you know ways in which to break the effect, but you also might incur the wrath. The very hard to hear me. Okay, thank you for pointing this out. We will make an effort to adjust this real quick.
It always is. That's this microphone's problem.
Go to OBS and just kind of the inputs right there.
Yeah.
It's already turned all the way up.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said we have to go into the gain and turn up the gain. Wrong one.
Filters, yeah.
So while you're trying to figure that out, I will also be communicating telepathically to look away, it's not harmful, just follow Zarkos.
Okay. Well, she's fascinated, so she can't do anything but stand or sit and stare at the lights. Either you can drop the spell, or you could draw a weapon on her and threaten her life.
Okay.
And you'd suffer the consequences if you draw a weapon on the badger. I'm pretty sure I might not forgive you so easily.
Exactly, yeah. No, I'll try, like I said, pushing her and communicating with her prior to doing so.
Okay. Seeing that you're trying to keep concentration on the spell and motivate her, I'll give her another will save, but I would require a concentration check from you.
Alright.
I rolled a 3.
You're getting better. All right.
Why do dice hate me?
So, on the bright side, I did pass my concentration check.
You did amazingly. You are unable to motivate the badger to walk away from your sparkly lights, though.
Yeah, I just realized that I'm also a gnome, so I get a +1 DC to illusion spell, so it's not a 17, it's an 18. Yeah.
You're not helping this out any.
Nope, but fair is fair, right?
Yeah.
I guess there's no other option but to draw a rape.
All right, so the spell will drop, and for 2 rounds it will linger. after which the fascinate will be over, giving Zarkosa at least a good 4 to 5 rounds walk ahead of you guys up the cliff facing.
Pardon me. There we go.
She's checking out the volume on her stream.
Yeah. Oh, good. Just in time. I turned the stupid ads off.
Oh my goodness. So, Zarkosa, you're wandering up the road. You've gotten a little distance. You come to the realization that there's not extra sound behind you. Looking over your shoulder, you can see that they're all still standing back there. The merchant and Sephira having a slight bewildered look on their face as they're rubbing their heads and kind of looking around like they just appeared out of nowhere. And Varianlin is riding on Sephira's shoulders. He seems to... I don't know. How would you describe... I think he would be like sitting there going, oh, like rubbing his face, thinking to himself, oh, that didn't work out too well. It's like they're definitely slowing this whole finding of magic items down.
When you two are done playing around with our new toy, it'd be really great for you to come to the keep with me.
Sorry. Telepathically communicating. And then I'll switch tack and start telepathically communicating to the dwarf, and I'll try to disguise my voice and attempt to, or I won't attempt to, I will tell him that the boat is down on the beach, and you will find it completely repaired.
Okay.
What?
He's trying to psych him out. He's trying to bluff him into believing that it's all okay.
Uh, 14 on the bluff.
Minimum bluff for most things start at 15, especially if the people really like you.
And we were paying him.
Yeah, and you're paying him. So,
Shame I didn't cast glibness prior to.
Keep going.
yeah, true. That would have been a massive bonus to your attempt. The merchant, on the other hand, hearing voices in his head, having his boat destroyed at this point in time, is going to retreat down the cliff facing to get away from you guys, to find a place to hide. He's got himself a stick. Seeing as you're not making any attempts to help him, he's angry. He's getting away from you guys, and he's going to find a place to hide until he can figure things out. Zarkosa, on the other hand, is leaving, or heading toward the castle. What would you like to do, Sephira?
I have just started to come out of the trance as my eyes blink a couple times. I'm looking around, confused at what just happened, seeing the boatman walking down, and confused by what is going on, what just transpired. I look to my gnome friend. What just happened?
I smile, rapier now back safely in its sheath, and I just say out loud, yeah, I guess he didn't want to come with us.
Are you sure he will be okay?
Absolutely. I showed him a way home.
He'll probably be dead in an hour.
Yeah, he's going to be dead in an hour.
Okay, where's the microphone?
The microphone's the top white one up back there. So we're going to be swapping out real quick to a different microphone.
So, yeah. Badger Gnome, have a conversation. We'll be right back.
Oh, all right. If you have indeed given him directions.
Have I ever told you that your fur is really soft?
No, but I hear it a lot, Mare. As I begin heading towards the keep. I hear that quite often from your kind.
But you might want to hurry up, though, because, we have to catch up.
I can see that. Are you willing to hold on, is the question.
In response, I won't respond, but I will instead snake an arm around the badger's neck and attempt to cling on, for my dear life.
Alrighty then, it's time to run.
There we go. Turn that back down. Okay, so we switched mics. I'm playing around with the game right now to see where we kind of fall in on things. Anyway, so if you're in the chat, say some stuff. Let me know if we're too big, if too loud, too soft. I'm just like slowly turning the gain up. There's gonna be more noise to this one because it's a condenser mic. The other one is a dynamic mic, so this one picks up everything. So you're gonna hear the fan in the background, probably a lot more than you were before, but hopefully you'll be able to hear us somewhat better. I'm turning up the gain some more. Thank you, Jolly. Yeah, you're gonna hear the fan now. It's either you hear us and the fan, or you don't hear us or the fan. Yeah, there's a way, like, there's a bunch of stuff that we have issues with that microphone because it's a dynamic mic and it's a USB, and there's a lot of science that goes into it, and I don't want to explain it because it makes me angry.
Because Windows won't fix it, and Windows knows there's a problem.
Anyway, we're gonna go for it. Or you guys will.
We're gonna go. All right. So you guys are retrievers. You're here to retrieve magic items. The most important thing is to make sure you're always heading in the right direction. You have a way to do that. So I'm assuming then the next step, as you guys go zipping to catch up to Sarkosa, would be what, Evan?
As soon as we catch up and the badger is no longer what I assume could only be described as galloping as a majestic beast, I will slide off her back and pull out the scroll.
I would more or less call it jogging. I wouldn't say full gallop. Between, like, those two.
Okay. All right. Pulling out the scroll and activating it, an emerald green arrow or point produces from the end. It points in the direction of the tower ahead of you, the one that the merchant referred to as the Keep of Poisonous Tears. Or sorry, Poison Tears. I'm saying the name is the Keep of Poison Tears. And it's pointing in that direction, but it's also pointed slightly downward, giving you the impression that there might be a subterranean complex underneath this tower, because most towers and castles and keeps have dungeons, which would only make sense that this place too has a dungeon. As you begin approaching the keep, a wall surrounds the majority of the outside. There are areas where the wall has broken, or there are entryways. The wall has battle damage, boulders from catapults, as well as burn marks can be seen on the stonework itself. The parapets have been... That's not the right word. They're not parapets. What were they called? What's that?
Can somebody else talk?
Can someone else talk? Yeah. Ta, can you say something?
Yes.
Keep talking.
Um,
All right, Evan, give it a shot.
sorry.
Okay. Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1.
Okay.
That was my default sound check when I was working tech crew.
It's a very good signal check. How did everything sound?
Yeah.
Great.
I was wanting to make sure that we sounded even.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I appreciate your efforts a lot.
Thank you.
Like I was saying, the castle wall is damaged. In some areas, you can see signs of a siege, and from where you're heading, the entranceway to this keep is ahead of you and slightly off to the right-hand side. The right-hand side. I'm gonna do this just to maybe no. Okay.
You okay? I got it.
Yeah.
Good.
And slightly off to the right-hand side, so you can make eye contact with the entrance. And the distance you're at is probably 200 to almost 300 yards. And you can see that there are guards at the top of the towers. The gatehouse has 2 towers, and there are guards on the what would be to your left-hand side, or to the left of the pathway ahead of you. You can't make them out. They're definitely humanoid in some shape. They're wearing armor, have spears. What do you want to do? How do you guys want to approach?
So there's actual people here right now?
Yeah, it looks like there are people here.
Well, I wasn't expecting that.
Yep. The keep of poisonous tears seems to be occupied.
Poison tears.
Poison tears. Haha, I did it a third time.
That's
I'm
correct.
terrible.
What, do they have any distinctive, like, emblems on anything?
At about 250 to 300 yards distance, no, they're just people in armor. No shields can be seen or any identifying marks.
Do you think we should maybe call out to them?
Give me a minute. I might have a trick.
Okay.
Out of character. Who was the one with the hat of disguise?
Who doesn't have one?
I don't.
Oh,
Why would I disguise my amazing beauty? That's ridiculous.
I do.
Are you currently wearing it?
I do not have it on currently.
Fair enough. Alright. I will cast 2 spells, one being glibness and the other one being disguise self. Disguise self is I can make myself, including clothes, armor, weapons, etc., look different. So I will attempt to make myself look similar to one of them.
okay.
And glibness for the one thing it does, and does well.
Massive bonus plus 20 to your bluff. How long does glibness last? Isn't it only a few rounds?
I haven't recorded that. So no, it is plus 30 to bluff. 10 minutes per level.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, a completely broken spell.
Oh my.
One of many.
One of many. Welcome to 3-5.
Well, you can't be a beguiler if you can't bluff, right?
Darn tootin'.
All right. So now you've got your disguise set up. You look like you're a human in armor. Actually, you're just your gnome self in appearance, just taller and in armor. And you've probably even got a spear.
Absolutely. And the best part about disguise self is it gives a bonus to disguise, and they can't disbelieve it unless they interact with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I will just stroll right on up and flash them a smile.
All right. Make your bluff roll. And you're trying to make them believe that you're a soldier, right? They're soldier looking. You're going to try to make yourself look like a soldier. What about your two compatriots? Are they going with you?
Well, he said to wait a minute, so I'm going to wait and see if our new friend is successful, and if he's not, I will mourn his death.
All right.
Somewhat.
I agree. I shall wait as well.
Yes. All right. Do you guys want to hide while you wait, or are you just going to...
Not really. We're kind of just waiting back.
Just gonna kind of hang
I
out,
guess
see what happens.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach into my vest pocket and pull out a little piece of paper, stick my finger in it, and just kind of rub my teeth a little bit. Pick at my teeth.
Pick at your teeth.
Yeah, that's what I'm calling it.
Okay. Well, amazingly, the magical spell that allows him to look like a human doesn't actually give him the same movement as a human. So he's still taking his normal, gnomish, speedy self to get there. You wait, and you wait, and... Well, that's a wonderful bluff of a 27.
Nice.
With a plus, I think...
Oh no, that was disguise self. I must have messed up on the bluff roll.
Oh yeah, that was. Yeah.
I see. So that's your disguise roll of 27. Excellent, excellent. You begin approaching the castle. As you get closer...
And I think I might pass that. I could be wrong though.
Oh, good God!
That's awesome.
They probably
Jesus.
believe you to be the next coming of their commander-in-chief. It's a good possibility. You could probably play this one off really well.
Wonderful.
Make a perception check, because I'm pretty sure you're keeping eyes on them. Oh, I'm sorry. Not perception.
Would that be
Spot.
search or spot?
Spot.
Spot?
Yeah.
Oh
my god.
Would my mind sight come into play where I can identify any intelligent creature within 100 feet?
The towers are about 3 high, so not until you're probably about 20 feet away from the gate will your mind sense be able to reach them. 30, 90, 30... No, I'm sorry. Not till you're about 60 feet away from the gate will your mind sense be able to read their minds. So you're going to have to be kind of close to the gate because they're high up.
I wouldn't be reading their mind. I would just know where they are and roughly how intelligent they are.
Okay. Which
yeah,
is fine.
it's a
still
bit
60
of
feet away,
oddly.
which would put you
Yep.
in the range of crossbows, boulders, and anything they would like to throw down at you.
Is that really true?
I'll
What's
take
that?
my chances. I'll
Yeah. This game had synergy bonuses. So if you have 5 ranks in one of these
Wow.
skills, you get a +2 in that other skill.
Okay.
Synergy bonus.
Thank you.
Yep. I apologize, Evan. What were you saying?
Not a problem. I'll take my chances. I believe, I look like and talk like one of them, and I'll just walk right on up. I won't try to, look around or scout out anything.
All right.
I'll just pretend like I'm one of them.
Okay. Make your spot check.
You
Minus.
have a -5 for your spot?
Yep.
That's amazing.
Are you wearing a helmet that makes this happen?
Nope.
Ah, it's the flaws that you took.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. These guards are on stalwart duty. The two of them overwatch the entrance. As you approach, they stay their positions and continuously gaze out into the opening between the guardhouse and the path that you're taking. It's a wide area. If anyone was to come up to the edge and crossbow down, that you would have nowhere to hide. It's a killing field. And there are signs that you're walking across that killing field. There are bones as well as shrapnel of metal and old stones that look like they might have been part of catapults and remnants of ballistas, a wheel of a wagon nearby, the skull of an ox. Birds fly around here and there, picking at the ground, and a few ground fowls as well are out and about. The wind is breezy, blows nice, it's cool, but as you get into the door, man, these guys are good. They have not taken their eyes off you this entire time as you're approaching. The magic must be working. Their gaze is deadlock upon you, but they're not moving. They're giving no signs of concern as you walk up to the gatehouse. 3-story tall towers on either side. The stonework itself is well done and has that same it has a very similar pattern. It seems as if all the stones of the towers, the gatehouse, and the walls are all very symmetrical, perfectly symmetrical to each other. Slightly off for their stacking, cemented in between them. The stains of bird crap and burnt marks from combat can definitely be seen, but everything is perfect symmetrical. You walk into the main area of the gatehouse. It is disheveled. The portcullis lays to one side, allowing easy access. The bridge that connects the two towers overhead is crumbled, and you can see through it in spots. A murder of ravens come barreling out, dashing out as you approach the gatehouse, and they fly. 10, 15 of them swarm the area overhead. It becomes quiet. All you can now hear is the wind and the rattle of curtains or metal. The portcullis slowly, bending and whatnot in the wind, whistling. You've got to the gatehouse, and no one stopped you. The path ahead of you is peculiar. You're not sure why. Something's off about it. Might be trapped.
I look at one of the guards,
You
and
can't see it.
Oh,
It's a 3-story tall tower, and they're near the front edge. And from where you've gotten now to the gatehouse, because you got past that 60-foot marker. I'm sorry, you're probably close to that 60-foot marker now, so you can still see them. Rewind. You were saying.
now that I'm within that 60-foot marker, I'll look up at them and smile and wave and yell out, "Whoa, guys, you will not imagine what I found out there. Yeah, you've got to try some of these mushrooms. They are delicious. They taste like bread and chocolate all at the same time."
You shout out up to them. You can hear his tiny voice this distance away. The spell does not change his voice, so he still has that squeaky gnomish voice. Me, 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 me. You echo up toward the guards. The closest one to you, continuously looking down. He's still facing out toward the killing field, but you can feel like his gaze is looking down towards you, and it's just as if it's not even thinking or considering that you're even down there. There might be some magic protecting them, because as your innate ability, you're not sensing any intelligence from them.
Ooh.
They might be constructs.
Or
Wonderful. Even
Or
better.
illusions.
Or undead.
Or undead.
So in which case, I'll continue up through the killing field.
All right, so you're now at the entrance to the gatehouse. You can see the inner courtyard area. From where you're at, you see what looks like the remnants of a temple and a grain silo, as well as the central keep itself, or the tower. So you can see some buildings from where you're at. Like I said, the portcullis is kiltered, leaning off to one side. It's not blocking the passageway, but it's definitely fallen, as well as a lot of rubble. Grass has grown up in many places in the entranceway, and there doesn't look like there's been any signs of passage in quite some time. As you're at this point, the guards make no motion to move over and look down at you. They seem to be standing stalwart to their duty and watching over the killing field. To them, it's just another one of their brothers who have returned from combat.
Absolutely. So, I'll yell back up at them after not hearing a response. Yeah, so, anyways, I've got a lot of these mushrooms in my backpack. I really want to share them with Sarah. You know, that cute little girl. Yeah, and anyways, I'm just going to go on forward if that's okay. And I'll just start, or continue, walking forward.
Okay. You continue walking forward into the opening. You're going to have to do some, no dice roll needed, but climbing over some of the rubble, considering that most of the rubble comes up to small in height. It looks like it's been stretched across the opening to create barricades, as if fighting had taken place. As you climb over the first barricade, on the other side you find a nice collection of skeletal remains. In the early part of the day, the bones are bleach white and have been picked clean for the most part. Some tatters of clothing still remains on them. A belt on one, a rusty dagger laying in the field nearby. A collection of iron coins can be seen, and not too far away there's a shield that has a puddle of water built up in it. Still, looking at this entranceway of this castle, something's up.
Can I make a knowledge arcana check to see if there's anything arcane going?
You can do a detect magic, right?
I definitely can.
Okay. So, make a detect magic, and then a spot roll. With your amazing spot check.
Wonderful. So, detect magic is detect spells and magic items within 60 feet.
Yes.
Actually, I will attempt a skill check first. Just the knowledge arcana.
Sure.
See if I know what's going on there. So, if there is something going on, I feel pretty confident I know what it is.
Everything in this passageway, in its heyday, in its moment of time, even the flagstone ground, all the stones are the exact same shape. Every bit of this castle that you're standing in wasn't hand-built, it was magically built. From the ground up, all of it. Every stone is the same shape, probably even the same weight when they were originally designed and magically crafted. Everything's perfect. There's no deviation as if a craftsman or a mistake had been made. Everything is really perfect.
Interesting. Now, with that in mind, I'll attempt to detect magic to see if there's still lingering spell effects in the area.
No.
Not trying to conceal it at all, I will just do a straight up cast.
Okay, you cast the spell. It takes generally 3 to 4 rounds to detect the magic and get an idea where it's coming from. By the third round, you're not detecting any magic above yourself. There's normal we'll call it background magic, or the magic that's natural to almost every world. These stones have sat here so long that their spell that created them has long since dwindled away. They're nothing more than stone and rock.
Interesting.
Do you want to continue on, or do you want to summon your friends? What's your course of action now there, very inland?
How far away are A, my friends, and B, the two guard?
The guards are probably about 30 to 33 feet above your head on top of that tower. Your friends are probably about...
I mean, we're definitely within shouting distance. Sure.
Not without a cone. That guy's got like the tiniest voice in the world. It's adorable.
He's squeaking. He can, like, I don't know, wave his arm or something.
That's true. That's true. He's also got a spear, an imaginary spear that he can wave around. It's all imaginary. It's not even real. And they're probably 250 yards, which is about 750 feet away. So they're a distance away. The guards are closer.
Sounds good to me. Can I see the guards where I currently am?
No, you might have to do some climbing. Maybe find a way into one of the towers and head up to the roof.
I'll backtrack a little bit until I can see the guards again, if that's okay.
Sure. Yep. And you do. You find them. They are, like I said, standing there in their perfect pose, looking out across the killing field, guarding the gate.
All right. I will start waving to my companions to urge them forward. And before they enter the killing field, I'll cast a spell close to the guard.
Okay. Well, your friends get the signal and they begin approaching.
Well, he's not dead yet, so that's a good sign.
So the spell I'm intending is Fog Cloud. The range is 160 feet, due to me being 6th level, and it only has a radius of 20 feet high and 20-foot radius. So I'm intending to surround the guards with this fog so they cannot see out of it.
How resistant is that spell to wind?
Moderate wind, 11 plus miles per hour, disperses the fog in 4 rounds.
So you'll have
Strong
about 4
wind.
rounds of covering then.
So there is a moderate wind.
Up there for them? Yes, there is.
Okay. Like I said, I will attempt to cast it as they begin to enter the killing field, or just prior to.
Sure.
And as I do so, I'll reach out telepathically. Hurry up, get underneath them so they can't see you.
That's our cue.
All right. The two of you approach down the cliff, getting closer and closer to the castle. At some point, of course, you've been standing there. You see your friend waving his spear and whatnot, jumping up and down. You thought it might have been a field mouse. You're wrong. As you get closer to the open field in front of the keep, you can see the remnants of war machines. And then of his voice comes into your head, crystal clear, that you need to make haste. Mm-hmm. And then as you do enter the field, you have a chance to duck and dive underneath several of the curves and the hills, like the little dips and whatnot, trenches that have been dug from previous encounters. So you have an opportunity to take advantage of that. And when you come out of one of these trenches, you can see the top of the tower that had the 2 guards on it is now encased in a billowy white smoke.
Ah, excellent.
Taking this opportunity, the two of you make haste across the field.
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. All right. By the time you
I
get...
wanted to ask.
Yes, go ahead.
How fast do I go when I get on all fours?
The same speed you do when you're on all twos.
Okay, got it. Just checking.
The only differences would be because a badger's speed, a dire badger's speed is 40, and your monk speed is...
I am not sure. It just says my movement speed for land is 40 feet.
Okay.
That's
So we assume that you start as a monk with a speed of 30, and you become 40 as you level up in monk. With that said,
Yep.
if you got down on all fours, your land speed would probably be 50. If you were walking on your hands, your land speed would probably be 30.
So there is different modes of movement in 3.5. There's walking, which is your typical move speed. There's a hustle, in which you move at twice your move speed, and then you can run. You can also run if you're encumbered or wearing heavy armor. It's 3 times your regular speed. If you're medium, light armor, or no armor, and unencumbered, you run at 4 times your speed.
Did you need something from over?
PHP, please. Thank you.
So if you were unencumbered and you got down onto all four, you would have a land speed of 50 times 4, or have a movement speed of 200 feet per round.
Okay, I was just concerned that 4 rounds might not be enough time for me and Zarkosa to get over to the gate in time.
Your concerns are quelched because it's more than enough. Even with Zarkosa's speed of 30 per round, she will make the distance across the killing field, considering where the last trench is to where the gatehouse opening is.
Okay, good.
You two get over there. About the same time, the billowy white smoke dissipates. To everybody watching, the 2 guards seem unmoved by this event. Spot check from the 2 new individuals, Zarkosa and Sephira.
Let's see how my dice are feeling today.
Yeah, let's see how they... You rolled a 5.
I rolled a 5. And I don't have a spot. So I think,
1.
Oh, I got a 6.
You got a 6.
I got a 24.
The guards do not seem to be moving. They have not been affected by this cloud from your point of view as you get up to the edge and begin looking up to them. You too see the same gatehouse opening, damage and destruction and whatnot. And you're also noticing that all the stones seem to be the same shape perfectly. It's definitely... Because, you get up to the castle, stones all have a variety of shapes. This seems odd and off. Sephira, as you get to this point, and you tailed back just a little bit just to make sure in case you had to rush up, grab Zarkosa and haul, but you come to a stop to look up and see what the 2 guards are doing, and you squint into the light just a little bit to make sure that your mind hasn't gone, but what you see are 2 sets of armor with helmets and faceplates set upon dummies near the edge of the castle. There's nothing in them. Maybe it's a ghost or something, but you can see wood holding it together, and maybe a bit of binding. As you move forward and squint and hunker down looking through openings, it looks like the dummy has had binding tying a spear to one of its sides. Those aren't guards.
Oh dear, it's a distraction. It's a ruse. That's all it is. And I will voice this to my companions when we get under the gate.
It's only a
I don't
ruse
believe
if they
those
were
are
trying...
2 guards.
Yeah, it's only a ruse if they were trying to keep us from seeing something else coming our way. Is there something else coming our way?
No, I mean, you don't
don't know.
notice it.
Of course I don't know.
Don't ask me.
All right. So you guys have made it to the gatehouse. And what would you like to do now? Right now, the scroll is pointing into the grounds and slightly down.
Saphira, can you dig?
Of course I can. Why do you ask?
Well. And I hold the scroll over to the side. As I'm now a foot taller, I'm closer to her height. I'm not quite there yet. Short by 2 feet. Well, it says we have to go down.
You don't think that we could find some stairs?
That is exactly what I was just going to suggest. I might be a badger,
Well, that's
but
no fun.
I don't do that on a daily basis.
Where's the fun in that?
Let's just find a way down, please.
All right.
So I shall begin to search for a way down.
Excellent. All right, we're going to change screens here for a moment, and I'm going to zoom everybody into one spot, so give me a second. We'll make sure that everybody has got their character set up. Yep, Saphira's set up. Varianlin is set up. Zarkosa is set up. Excellent.
I'm guessing I'm the handsome devil with the beard.
You are.
You are.
Wonderful.
He has a very nice smirk. Thought it would be appropriate.
I'm not sure if that's hurtful words. Hurtful or not.
All right. So, what you guys can see, this square in front of you is a bit of a bridge, and the portcullis. Go ahead. You want to touch something?
Yeah. I mean, if this is going to be over, then we should probably.
Oh yeah, let's move our picture. Move it over to this area right here.
Yeah.
I love my picture, by the way.
You're welcome. That badger had the kung fu kind of like, like I'm about to karate chop you.
There we go.
All right.
This is what I meant.
You got it. It's fine. It's fine. So what you can see is the gatehouse, and in front of you, that grayish-colored blob is the edge of the castle itself. Or at least the keep, the tower, sits right there.
Everybody see our cool pictures.
There you go. So for the players, you should be able to grab your token and move into the gatehouse, which is the square in front of you. Let's go ahead and give that a test. Zarkosa, you go first.
Right here?
Yeah, just go ahead and drop it there.
Okay.
There we go. All right. Varianlin, try to move your piece.
I'll bounce that move instead.
Looks good to me.
Excellent. And finally, Saphira. I forgot your character's name. Excellent. All right, so we're going to slide in here a little bit. You guys can see the large gray building in front of you, the stonework all being very patterned and perfect. You can see that there's a small passageway or an opening that leads off into the left-hand side, and the courtyard opens up a lot to your right. If I can borrow this for a second. We're going to make some adjustments here real quick so that the viewing is a bit better. So click there, click here. Let's see if I can actually grab it. I can. There we go. That's a door beside you that enters into the tower. There we go. We're going to zoom out just a little bit so the audience can see what's going on. There we
Well,
go.
they can't see what's going on because it's all black.
It's all black. Point of view. Yeah.
All right.
So the scroll is pointing forward and to the right. The scroll is forward. Of course it's pointing forward. The scroll is pointing to the right and down. So if you're thinking about your character's point of view, the tower or the main building, which is right in front of you, opens up to the right. And so if you were to follow directly to the scroll... Oh, I forgot I can do this. No. I can do this. There's my object. Tape measure. It's pointing in this direction.
Okay.
Oh, I should pick a different color. That one. Pachoo.
Wow. I'm going to start walking that way.
Great.
I don't care about what's in those doors.
You've already determined that there are fake guards upon the...
Exactly.
so that possibly can't be anything dangerous ahead.
No. Obviously, that's all fake.
I shall follow close behind.
I have rounded the corner and then I've stopped because the one with the with the scroll is behind us. So I'm like, there's a door.
Yes. Large pair of ornate doors still attached to their hinges. A temple of some type to a sea god, from what you can tell from this distance. Conch shells, clam shells decorate the outside. Designs of pearls and whatnot are inlaid in either the door or around the basin. You can see that there is a fountain out front that is dried up, but still, for the most part, there.
I would like to cast my detect magic, please.
Okay.
That's what I would like to do.
Get a detect magic up and running.
Oh, yes.
All right. It's going to take about 3 rounds before you know any definites, but for now, we've got it started. Saphira is keeping up with Zarkosa. What about Varianlin?
I'll keep up as well.
Okay. As Varianlin moves into a new position, so does change the direction in which the arrow is pointing. Straight toward the double doors and then down.
Wonderful. He sees that change and runs forward.
Excellent. Go ahead and move yourself forward.
Yay!
Seeing the little one run off, I will go ahead and try to make my way towards him.
Okay.
Okay.
Zarkosa, are you going to keep up with them, or are you going to let them go off gallivanting by themselves?
I am going to casually walk forward as I'm finishing up my detect magic spells. Because
Excellent.
There's no need to rush. The door is closed.
The door is closed. Varianlin, you get up to the door, and these
I'll
wonderful...
begin knocking.
Well, knocking isn't going to be a hard thing. You just got to move a very large brace bar that had been put against the door to keep them shut.
I have to move a bar in order to physically knock on a door.
Well, no, you don't have to, but there is a large brace bar holding the door shut. So you run up and you knock. The sound echoes throughout the building, and no one answers.
To the other two party members, I appear to be looking through through the crack between the two doors, but in reality, I'll be attempting to see if there's any intelligence behind them.
Behind the doors. Now, this is this ability that you have is based upon like a detection ability. So thickness of material will interfere, correct? Like a detect magic won't go through a foot thick stone wall, or like a 2-inch lead wall. Will this detect ability, this mind ability, see through those objects?
I'm not seeing anything written about that. Mind sight is based off of
Okay.
and telepathy doesn't have that that barrier, but it's not written in at all.
No, detection
whether-
magic, detection spells like detect magic, detect evil, they have it written in there.
Yep.
That's why I was asking if it's like a detect spell.
Nope, but I'm perfectly fine if you want to rule that way.
No, if it's based on telepathy, then it will allow you to sense intelligence. Now, you have to be able to sense intelligence that can have a language, right?
A creature that has this feat can detect and pinpoint beings that are not mindless. Anything with an intelligence score of 1 or higher within range of its telepathy. This works much like blind sense. The creature knows what square each thinking being is in, but does not see the being.
Well, let's check to see if there's anything with an intelligence greater than 1 behind that door. Why, yes, there is something with intelligence greater than 1 behind the door, and I will happily ping it for you. Boo! Did you get that?
I did.
Your knocking on the door has definitely caused it to stir, because you can hear the sound of rubble moving on the other side.
I'll take a step back and look at the badger. I don't think I'm knocking loud enough. Do you want to try?
Why not just open the door?
The door can't be opened. There's a large 4-inch by 6-inch timber that has been laid against the ground and the door, sealing it shut. Any attempts to swing the doors inward, outward, will hit that bar. Maybe you could push in, but the hinges don't look like they swing inward.
I look at her, look at the bar, look at her again, and then down at my arms. You know, I can disguise myself, but that doesn't make me strong.
I wasn't saying you pick up the bar.
I don't know, it sounded like it. It would be fun to see.
I am going to go try and pick up the board.
It's not a board, it's a beam.
Beam.
What's your strength score?
I have a total of 17.
All right. You're going to have to put yourself into the actual attempt, getting underneath it and hoisting it up to move it off to one side. But once it's freed from the door, it should easily fall to the ground. There's no dice roll needed. It's just going to take you about 2 to 3 rounds of effort before it's freed.
As she's doing so, I'll try hiding around the corner.
All right. As the badger moves over to and grabs a hold of the beam and begins lifting it, whatever it is on the inside that you're sensing moves right up to the door.
Just to let you know, there's something right behind the door.
Zarkosa,
But maybe he wants to party. Who knows?
if you see something come out of the door, could you please take care of it as I put the beam down?
Alright, so she's hefting the beam up. She's pushing it off to one side. She tosses it to the ground, makes a loud clattering noise. Zarkosa, what do you want to do?
Apparently, I am now the tank.
You are now the tank. The door
I
bursts
must take
open.
care of problems.
Tanky tank time. The doors burst open, and a plethora of large, long tentacles begin shooting out of the opening. Each tentacle ends in barbs. Oh, man, I lost it. Where's it? There it is. That one. And then we click on...
Oh my word.
Probably should move out of the way if you want me to handle things.
Boop.
Well, I shall indeed move back.
We're going to slide us over here just a little bit. There we go. The creature bursts forth once the door is opened, and whoever is actually close enough, it's going to try to make a grab attack, which would be
The badger.
the badger.
I'm gonna assume
Oh,
this is-
yay.
Okay.
Do we need to roll for initiative?
No, this is, she knew about it, and she was close enough to the door, the thing's going to get a free attack.
Okay.
She gets her full AC, though. She's not flat-footed. So, I'm going to roll the attack. If I can find the dice roller. I found the dice roller, and I can sing songs, And 19! On
My AC is exactly 19.
The creature is able to make an attack and hit. Alright, automatically the creature gets a grab attempt with every tentacle that hits by piercing its target with its blood-draining spike.
Ouch.
Ow!
Alright, so now it's going to make a grapple
Mother
attempt against
trucker.
you. Grapple roll, only a 10.
That is against my what?
Your AC.
Touch AC or full AC?
Touch.
My touch AC is a 16.
So you're fine. Alright, the tentacle itself does a D4 plus 4.
Ouch.
So I'm going to roll a D4. We just add 4 to it. 7 points of damage. But it doesn't get a grapple, which means it doesn't embed you with its blood-draining tentacle. Alright, now it's initiative.
Alright. Do you want me to keep up with it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
There should be there's a notebook up there.
I've got this strap.
Excellent. Alright. So the creature has a 15.
Okay.
I have a 13 in total.
15.
15.
And I've an 18.
What did you get, Badger?
13.
13. Smurf. I don't remember his name.
18.
Eight.
Very inland.
Very inland, thank you. And Zarkosa is an 11.
Excellent.
Just
So-
as the tank should go last,
Very inland, you get to go first.
apparently. I want to get my hands dirty. These are my new robes. I don't
I
want
know,
to be...
right? What are they thinking?
Ugh. Very inland. You're up first.
Yep. I'm just looking over my spells.
What illusion are you going to use on the Cthulhuan tentacle monster?
Oh, should the badger be closer to it?
No. The badger was able to make a few steps away
Okay.
after throwing the beam, getting attacked, threw the beam down and stepped away. I'm okay with that
Cool.
during that initial round.
Alright. So I had not chosen my advanced learning feat yet.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'll leave that up for grabs for later. I might want to change it. It is a monster, however, so I will attempt to heighten a Daze monster up to a 3rd level spell.
Let's do this.
So my 3rd level DC is 18.
And it's a will save?
Correct. Yes.
All right. It gets a +5. 16. It will fail. The large red-skinned tentacle creature comes out, and a massive pop of sound and a brilliant flash of light. The creature begins flailing around madly, whipping its tentacles from left to right. The image that we're using is of a Grick. Just add an extra 2 tentacles onto this voracious beast, because it's a blood Grick.
Yay.
It means it gets 2 extra attacks.
And then for my because the spell itself is only a standard action. Oh no, I use meta magic, so it's a full round.
All right. So you stand within its striking range and cast a spell from the shadows.
If it's within striking range, I would have to cast defensively. So would that be a concentration?
No, because the creature's actually not facing towards you.
Fair
It came
enough.
out of the door. You are within its attack range if it knew you were there. The creature has no special ability that allows it to detect your presence, other than the fact that I, the Game Master, which controls every monster, know that your character's there. I have to keep that separate. You know how it works. All right. Next on the list is
The monster.
the monster. It's dazed, which means if something happens, it gets minuses to its actions. Oh, it's been so long since I turned these pages.
So Daze Monster, if it failed it, a living creature of 6 HD or less loses next action.
Oh, so its action is gone.
Oh, well there you go. It's not the tentacle's turn.
It is Saphira's turn.
No, it's... Yeah, it's fair. Sorry, I forgot. That's the badger's name.
Yes, I'm getting all the names right.
So the monster still has a hold of me?
No, the monster never
No?
had a hold of you. When you opened the door,
Alright.
when you threw the timber to a side, it pushed the door open and struck out at you as you were walking away. So it cut you, but it never actually grabbed a hold of you.
Ow. Alright then.
Is the roll 20 accurate where Saphira is 10 feet away or 2 squares away from the monster?
Yes, because she said that she was going to throw the beam to one side and then step away. So it all
Yes.
happened very quickly.
That monster has a 15-foot reach.
Well, it was at the time while she was stepping away.
You're 15 feet away from each other.
It was the moment the door opened
Yeah,
is when
it's
she
fine.
got struck. Not the moment she was 15 feet away, because that would be silly.
Nope, sounds good to me.
And it is Saphira's
Can I
turn.
hold? Can I hold my turn? I'm not exactly sure what I can do at this moment,
You can go up
since it
and
is still a distance away from me. Sorry,
beat it in the face with your fists.
but that is not my way.
You're a monk. What are you?
I'm
why
a
are you even
pacifist.
here? Why are you even here?
Because you asked me to.
Okay. So your action is to hold your action, and
Yes.
you and Zakosa are having this discussion about, get in there! I'm not getting in there. I don't want to hurt the thing. It's just trying to live. What do you mean? I mean, go for it, guys. This is your discussion. Put it in character.
That's what we were
Okay.
doing.
Yes.
All right. Next on the initiative,
That's
then?
me. Yeah.
It's you.
Okay.
Tank.
Yep. Let's see. Is that 15?
That's 10 foot. That's 20 foot.
All right. So I guess I need to move up one more if I want to do a 15-foot cone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You could always try a charge or a bull rush.
Yeah, I sure could. That'd be so great. Except no. Did I not mention already that these are new robes? Did I not say
I
that?
believe you have a good couple of times.
I'm gonna flick my fingers at this thing and like shoot out some colorful sand in
Excellent.
its face. And well, in what I think it's its face.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
a
know.
massive tentacles and what looks to be
Just
a
like-
beak thing. It's hit it there.
Like, yeah, so it's like literally my hands are making the motion like, ugh, go away. Go away. And it has to make a will save.
It's a will save. It's
Yeah.
got a +5 on its will
Let's
save.
see. Ooh!
21.
See, hold on a second. Yeah, I think that will still beat it because I think my highest one is a 20 for saving it. For saves. Right?
Well, that would be a 10 plus 1. That's 11 plus whatever your attribute modifier is.
7.
So 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. It appears your blast of colored sand has brought it back to its cognitive self, as it now has stopped flailing about, and now it's looking all about left and right.
I'm pointing at the badger.
It is now a multicolored tentacle monster, no longer just purely red. It is now covered with blues and yellows, greens, and some pastels.
I'm gonna like point knowingly at the badger, like it
Oh.
was totally the badger, it was not me. The
Oh.
badger is just horrible, you should attack it.
Okay.
Why must you do this every time?
All right. Very inland. How do you want to recoup from this?
Is Saphira still holding her action? Because I believe at the end of the initiative count,
Mm-hmm.
she either has to act or she loses her action.
That is true. Yes, we have come to the end of the round, and I'm ready to rotate on to the other side. If Saphira hasn't done anything, then she has not done anything but stand there.
I shall take an adjustment to my move and move back.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
She's pointing at me. I see where this is going.
All right.
God. Damn it, Sarkosa, not again. This is why we don't work together on things.
Then why did you bother showing up?
Because you asked me, and I'm a
I
polite
did
person.
not ask anything. I would have preferred to just come here by myself with my friend, who is missing, by the way.
Not my fault.
All right. So now it is Very Inland's turn.
Alright. Rapier in one hand. He will cast Mage Armor upon himself, which is a standard action, granting him a +4 to AC.
Yes.
And then he will take his move action to move in front of the monster.
Drawing a weapon is a move action, if I remember correctly.
Unless you have
correct.
quick draw.
Unless you have quick draw, or the weapon it has a quick draw holster. So your turn is spent
I
drawing
do
your
not.
weapon and calling
And
upon.
I will
Go ahead.
then also shout at the monster as a free action
Ah!
to draw attention to myself.
Me. 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 All right. Letting out your voracious battle cry. We'll see what the creature does. Because now it's the creature's turn. It sees that there's a scaly one over here. Not really sure exactly what's going on with that, but that one's pointing at this large furry thing that he just got
He's
finished
trying
doing,
to run away.
who seems to be running away. And now there's a sound of squeaking off to one side, like a battle-enraged rainforest toad.
You should actually listen to one of what those actually sound like. It's really adorable, guys.
Yeah, quick draw holsters. The saber would have a holster that is loosely based so that it can slide up quicker. Not unlike, just making shit up at this point. Don't pay attention to me. All right, so we've got 3 players, one making noise, one walking away, and one looking inconspicuous. We're going to number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The gnome is 1 and 2. The badger is 3 and 4. And the spell scale is 5 and 6. It has drawn the attention. The gnome's war cry has brought upon the attention of this blood grick, who is now slinking its colorful hide around the corner. Where's that? There it is.
So if it's moving within my threat range, would I get an attack of opportunity or not, because it's a 5-foot move?
It's just making a 5-foot move around the corner, so there's no attack of opportunity.
Oh well, I tried.
Yes. So its move action is a 5-foot adjust. And so now it will tentacle you. Alright, so primary tentacle is a 7.
My AC currently is 23.
Alright. And now for the other 5. Tentacle.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did I get, was that all?
You got
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You got 2 crits.
6 tentacle attacks. The creature comes around the corner. As you have prepared your defensive, you're standing strong. This creature's tentacles swarm from all directions. It is quick and too much. Alright. Just to let everybody know, there's this rule called confirm crits.
Oh shit, we're doing that. I forgot.
Yeah. Alright, so 2 of those rolls are hits. Now we're going to see if they are crits. Starting with the first one. 24. It is a confirmed
That beats
crit.
it.
And the second one is a 20.
That
Not a
does
confirmed
not.
crit. But they're both good rolls. The thing's swarm of tentacles begin bearing down on the tiny creature who's under the effect of an illusion. Let's get some damage taken care of.
Maybe that's why most of them missed except for that one. Because it was too
This is
tall.
the illusion. Yes, attacking the top half. All right. So we're going to do the grab effects first. Grabs. All right, the first crit. This is his grab. That's a no. Unless you have a terrible touch AC.
No, it's fairly good.
And this is the second one with a 12.
For my touch AC, that would hit.
Okay, so the
Fairly
second
good is an 11.
Fairly good. That's fine. That's fine. All right, so the crit will do 2d4 plus 8. But it's not a grapple. 13 points of damage. The grapple attempt, or the grapple hit, will do a d4 plus 4. Oh, 8 points of damage. 21 points of damage in total. And you are now grappled by the creature.
Oh man, if only somebody had stepped in and tried to help, maybe our friend wouldn't be hurt right now.
Drops Mike. Next on the initiative, Sephira.
I hear you, Sarkosa. Very funny.
That was not a joke.
So, now that it has stepped forward and grabbed on to Very Inland, I shall now... My idea is that I want to use Stunning Fist. I want to stun the creature.
Okay. Stunning Fist, I believe, is a... Actually, I think it is a standard action. Just Stunning Fist, if you can let me borrow that.
I
Thank
think
you
it
very
is too.
much. So that would be your move forward, and that's your action, is to attempt a Stunning Fist on it. Let's see.
Because Flurry of Blows is a full round action, but the Stunning Fist should just be a action.
Feats. What section of the book?
Well, Stunning Fist is a feat.
Yep. You declare that you're using the feat before you make your attack roll. She did that. Stunning Fist forces a foe damaged by your unarmed to make a Fortitude saving throw, DC 10 plus half your character's level plus your Wisdom modifier. In addition to dealing damage normally, the defender who fails the saving throw is stunned for 1 round. A stunned character can't act, drops anything held, including teammates, loses any dexterity bonuses to AC, and takes a -2 penalty to AC. All right. You can make a stunning attack for every 4 levels you have attained. So that means 2 of them, if I believe correctly. But you have a magic item that changes that, if I remember correctly, as well.
My Belt of Monk, I believe, is what you're talking about.
I am. The Belt of Monk makes your character level higher.
Is there a possibility that the damage that I do can be non-lethal?
Of course.
Yay.
With unarmed strikes, it's a automatic non-lethal, I believe. Otherwise, it's a -4 to attack.
Alright.
Let's see.
Shall I roll then?
Yes, roll to hit. Technically, you have an attack on the rear, so you'll get a +2 bonus to this dice roll.
Flanking.
Oh, and there's flanking bonus. There's another +2 bonus.
Any other bonus I should be aware of?
You're not... No, not that I can tell. You don't have a height advantage or anything.
That is a 14.
And 14 is a hit.
Yay! So now... I roll...
So I notice you only put a +4 on that 14. You should also be adding in base attack bonus, your strength score, etc., etc. For future.
So that would also be plus... So what is it that I need to add in? Because that is what I do not know what I need to add in.
Oh, I figured the sheet would actually have it for you. I apologize. So you would add in your strength bonus and your base attack bonus.
Yep, so it does have it in under the initiative section is your attack bonuses. which has your base, your grapple, and then your melee, which is a +6.
Okay,
And
so that is
I've already. Yep. So on top of that +4 would be a +6.
Alrighty, so then a 20 in total, sorry.
No, that's fine. Yeah, 20 still hits.
Alrighty.
And it says right here that amongst unarmed damage deals lethal, but she can choose to deal non-lethal instead with no penalty on her attack roll.
So,
You're going to be doing a
Monster.
D8 plus your strength bonus. Do you have anything else that adds bonus to your unarmed combat damage?
let me check.
Yep, because you have the belt
Would-
on, your unarmed damage
Yes.
is treated as 5 levels higher.
That is what I was just about to ask about.
And I'm not looking at the monk real quick, so if you could hold it up. An 11th level monk does a D10. So you'll be rolling a D10 in damage plus your strength bonus.
11th?
Yeah, 6th level. Oh, wait, no, what level is your monk again? 4th level? Yeah, still it's a D10 for 9.
Yes.
So a D10 plus your strength bonus. I'm done with this, thank you. Ooh,
13.
13 points of damage. You bludgeon into the creature fiercely. Its hide is spongy, and you do not break skin, but put in a massive amount of force. So let's get that stun figured out, because that's what you're doing, a stun check. Half of your level,
Yes.
which is technically a 9, so that's 5. And what's your wisdom bonus?
My wisdom bonus is a 2.
So we're looking at 17, and it has a fort save of 0. So I roll a d20, and I have to get a 17 or above. So there it is. And it's a 19.
Ooh.
Damn.
You bash into the creature, and it's a powerful blow, but the creature does not seem to be swayed by your might. Zarkosa, your turn.
Well, now they're all tangled up in that thing. So I'll just fire. No, just kidding.
Just fireball it.
Just
Well, lightning bolt will hit one of them at least.
yeah, right. I magic missile into the group. Because that just like goes straight onto the thing I want it to hit, right?
Yes,
That's
magic
what I
missile
thought.
hits your target.
I can't remember how much. I know it's like silly little D4s or something.
Each missile does a D4 plus 1. And I don't remember how many missiles you get. It's like
Yeah, that's what I'm
one
trying to-
every 3 levels, so one at 1 and another one at 3.
Let's see. Every 2 caster levels.
Awesome, so you have 3 missiles.
Okay. Alright, I'll do that.
Okay, there's nothing but damage. Nothing but damage.
I'll just roll it on here. Is that right?
That's right.
Or should I be doing...
Nope.
Okay.
I guess you were supposed to be doing plus 3.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, I didn't. I never have to roll that.
So, 11.
11 points of damage. Your missiles fire in and explode into its soft, spongy skin, and send bits of shrapnel flying in all directions.
Shrapnel or goo?
Goo.
Okay.
Goo and shrapnel
'Cause
because it's got rough bits on the inside, and it's kind of rough scales begin flinging all over the place. You decimate it with your 11 points of damage.
Excellent.
Would that be dead or knocked out?
In pieces. There's some of it still attached to you. The midsection's gone. The Sephira is holding on to the tail of it at this point of time. One of the missiles literally seared it into 2 pieces.
Oh my.
Well. Can we move forward now, or?
Let's go ahead and we're gonna...
Because it's like...
You two who are closest to the explosion are definitely covered with the visceral of the creature. I'm going to roll to see if you get hit at the distance, because that was some serious overkill. If I get above a 17, there was enough goo flew at your new clothing. Nope, you're fine.
Good. So I'd be very upset.
You'd be terribly upset. You have to prestidigitate that stuff off.
Yep. So I will move forward, carefully avoiding all of the bits of goo and viscera that are now on the floor. And then I will peek in past the monster and into this room where it was living.
You see the remnants of this temple. Most of the statues and whatnot have been knocked down or damaged. Beyond it, there's an altar, some old damaged, like, sitting places, and a collection of things. It doesn't look like this place has been too terribly ransacked. You might be able to pry out some pearls or gemstones out of some of the gods that are present here. You do see...
Any that I know.
I don't think you know any of them. I'm not sure. Probably not.
If they aren't dragon related, then I don't care about them.
All of them are dwarven related.
Oh, ugh.
Yep. There is a area on the far end. I will click on it on the map with a large opening into the ground and what looks to be the remnants of a flight of stairs that would go down.
Down, you say?
Down. This room is dark. There's nothing but natural light coming in. Holes in the ceiling provide some illumination. Who has dark vision?
I don't know if I do.
We've got the book. You could go look.
I know. I can.
Low light here.
I think I have something cool. But I can't remember.
You have
I do have low
light.
light.
Where would that be?
And racial abilities.
Ah, then no.
Do you have low light?
No, I do not.
I think you're supposed to have low light. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Let me super check.
When I was updating her character sheet, the only racial trait was the rage, which I recommended you to look at together.
She should have low light and scent ability. And she also has rage. Mostly against machines, though. Ha ha ha
You're
ha.
so funny.
I'm funny.
You're so clever.
I make clever jokes. Because it's a band.
So clever.
So all of you have the ability to see in low light, but if there's no light sources down there.
Oh no, that would be so terrible.
Yes. Terrible. What would you guys like to do? Sephira?
Well, I would like to go check on our little friend that she just left behind.
You're currently standing covered in goo and holding the back end of this poor creature that she used some god-awful powerful magic to sunder into 2 pieces.
Yes. And it is such a tragedy that she did that.
Oh, yes, such a tragedy.
All right. So you drop the section of animal you have, and you immediately rush over to this collection of gore and tentacles, and begin fishing around, digging in there, trying to find your friend. I don't know if the alter self still holds since you were physically combated.
I would have dropped it by now, absolutely.
Okay, so you dig one of your paws into the swirling mass of tentacles and pull out your gnomish friend.
She has it well under control.
Thank heavens you're alright.
It may have
was
taken
worried.
her a couple of seconds, though, as now I'm a foot shorter.
Are you alright?
Yeah, next time, why don't I stand back and let you do the fighting? Okay?
I'm not sure how well that would work. But definitely next time, stay some distance behind me, please.
So you're holding him. The gore is dripping off his magical armor that's around his body.
Yes.
What do you want to do with him now that you've got him?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and put him on dry land, where there is no corpse bloody goose stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to see about wiping off some that is on me.
Okay.
This is just gross.
All right. So you're gonna.
How could you do this to such a creature? It was only defending itself.
I was only defending myself.
But you didn't need to destroy it.
I was defending myself. I don't care about some stupid squalor dungeon creature. Are you kidding me?
She's got a point.
It's in my way.
She's got another point.
Whose side are you on?
I'm on the side of money. And, if it's stopping us from getting, the magical item that we're here for, then yeah, we have to go through it. Quite literally in your case, as you did go through it to pick me out of it.
I went around it mostly.
Oh.
Mostly isn't completely. Hee hee.
Scamper, scamper, scamper.
All right, Varianlin. Do you wanna? What would you like to do?
Similar to what Cassie just said, scamper, scamper, scamper.
Okay.
through the monster and into the room behind his fellow party member.
All right. So I'm assuming everybody's getting together and going down the stairs.
Well, I was waiting for them.
That's why you're getting together
But
to go,
yes.
to go down the stairs.
Because I want to see where that arrow is pointing.
Ah, yes.
That's really what I was waiting on. Where's that arrow pointing at these days?
I will join them after giving a small prayer of my apologies.
Still pointing down?
Yep, still pointing down. A bit more down-ish.
Excellent.
The opening is here, and it is pointing downish. Oh, I'm sorry. The opening is here, and it's pointing downish in this direction. No, this direction. Yeah, I had it right.
Okay.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead, and we're going to move everybody together. And then I'm going to highlight over everybody, and we're going to copy you all. I'm going over to the next map.
Just being conscious of time would now be a good a good time to call it for the night? Or...
Yes, it will. As soon as I put you on the stairs and give the intro description, we'll go to the closing credits.
Yes.
Yes. I click
Wonderful.
there, I right click, and I hit
Well,
paste.
Varianlin will definitely be in the middle of this group.
Okay, and the badger will be in the front. Safari will be in the front.
I guess we'll take her silence as an affirmative.
Okay, and Sakosa will be in the front as well.
Nope.
No.
Apologies. I said
Absolutely not.
sure.
Alright, gonna double check to make sure everything came through. It looks like everything came through, alright. Alrighty then, I will drag you guys over. And bam. And we go like this. And like that.
Oh my.
Looks good to me.
How come I see so much?
Right?
There's like a wall missing, isn't there? Mother blinkers.
Mother blink.
That button. That button.
And screenshot. And screenshot.
Oh,
Okay, I'm good.
yeah, look at that. Look who didn't finish the dungeon. That would be me.
Well, that's okay.
That
Now
would be
we'll
me.
have plenty of time.
Perfect. Yeah, I can finish it. Well, apparently, I'm slacking at my job. Let's do that.
Bad on you, Daddy.
I know. I'll fix it later. We'll fix it in post. When you begin coming down the flight of stairs turn around and begin going back the other way. So the platform behind you guys. So right now the arrow is. Oh, that's not the arrow. This is the arrow. Right now the arrow is pointing back in this direction. So you came down a flight of stairs and then turned. And so this is the direction it wants you to go. You can go back and start digging through the wall if you want to. Because if you were watching, there was an actual, like, only a 10-foot thick concrete wall to dig through.
That'll be just great.
Yeah, 10
There's
foot.
no way I am digging through a wall.
As you descend the stairs, you notice that this area, as you're coming down, has an increased amount of heat. As you get down the stairs the first time, you bend around and you start coming back down, walls of heat begin oozing up. You're like, wow, this is a little bit much. The badger, of course, is now walking with her mouth open. Because badgers don't sweat, by the way. Well, the rest of you
Yay.
have started to sweat. The temperature down here is in the 90s.
Ooh.
For those people who are outside the States, that's about 27 degrees.
Yikes.
So it's nice and toasty down here. If you're wearing wool, you probably don't want to be doing so. The stone down here is different from the stone above you. It is still symmetrical in all sense, but is made of like this dark black marble that is veined with like browns and blue veins. Those of you who still have a detect magic up is who? Zarkosa?
I do. Yep.
All right.
Varianlin might. How long has it been since he initially casted it?
Well, it's a concentration, so when you cast it, you're concentrating, and then when you stop concentrating, it lasts for a couple of minutes.
Then absolutely not.
All right. You are noticing that these walls have some sort of magic dampening effect. I wouldn't say you can make a spellcraft roll to kind of get an idea what, but at the first glance, you can see that the stone itself has a magic dampening effect.
I think I would like to try to do that.
Let's do that as our ending dice roll for the night.
Okay. So plus a lot. And it's at least 9. Yeah. 18.
18. You're not sure exactly the spell, but you can definitely tell that the walls are meant to damper the effect of teleportation magic. Whoever built this wanted to make sure nobody can just slip in. This stonework is probably incredibly valuable. Not the stuff in the dungeon, but the dungeon itself. Some wizards might pay an arm and a leg for this kind of material.
Yes.
So,
You can't just magic that stuff.
maybe they can in this realm, though. He
So
was a
really,
powerful conjurer.
really quick question before we go is Zarkosa mentioning any of this to the party?
See, I slide my hand across the walls as we walk down the steps. I feel all of the patterns, and it's beautiful. I'm like, oh, they must have paid a fortune for this. Amazing. It's all of the walls, and then I'll kind of like move a little bit past them and just like kind of down into the like this area. There we go. I'll move this. So like just down here, just to see like, yep, all the walls I can see, they're made of this stuff. They didn't want
Would her being vocal about this allow me to make my own spellcraft check?
Yes.
Doesn't
Wonderful.
look like they wanted anyone to be able to get in except through the stairs.
The walls act as a dimensional anchor. That's the spell in question. Identifying what they can do is rather easy by the way that like a detect magic is telling. By her description, you assume that's the spell that this natural material has created. There's also possibility that if this is truly able to keep teleporting out, most likely dimension hopping, teleportation, dimension doors, bags of holding, and stuff like that might also have issues in this place. Which brings to mind your retriever's bag.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Alright. I'll mention this to the party, and that'll...
Excellent. I am going to go back up the stairs, and I'm going to take out all of the cure light wounds and other important things that I might need immediately before we go back down into the dungeon.
You go back up the stairs, and as you pull off your retriever's bag, it regains the natural weight that you're used to as you're like, wagging your finger at the thought of not being able to access all of that.
And I recommend you do the same.
So, is everybody following suit, going back up the stairs?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I mean, it is a smart idea.
We'll end game here. Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Are those two doors?
Yes, they are doors, and you can't see beyond them even though I haven't actually closed them off. And the doors descriptions will come next week.
No, my only thinking was, let's barricade those two doors, let's barricade the doors at the top of the stairs, and take a rest.
There are no doors at the top of the stairs. It's a hole that goes into the temple.
Sorry,
have to...
the doors at the front of the temple.
Yeah, you could close those doors.
And barricade them as well, yeah.
We could worry about that next game session, so next game session we can easily jump through that. And we will call game here. Let me look at some experience points, because even though you were trying to be passive, you still killed that creature.
Yep.
So you get experience for killing it. Let's see, character level, challenge rating, 3 players, 900 divided by 3, that's 300 experience points. You guys made it into the castle. That's another 200, so that's 500 experience points. And we'll give a nice 150 for role-playing, making it 650 for tonight's game.
So we are now at 17,325.
650.
Yep. Wait, what? I got 17,275.
325.
He's got an extra 50 somewhere.
I do?
Yeah.
Well, I'll take that out.
Because that's the 1500, the 150. There was the 450. Then role playing. There was combat and combat. So yeah, that's right.
Okay. Just making sure.
No, it's good. Well, that was fun. You guys made some distance. It's. I just want to let you guys know we're down a player tonight because she's not feeling well. So she will be hopefully rejoining us in 2 weeks when we come back to do the follow-up show. We'll just say she magically falls into the sky. It's going to be great.
Yes. We'll figure it out.
She was in greater invisibility, so
she was.
Maybe she was
and
true.
We are going to be having with us next time we meet a new player. We call him Star-Lord.
Evan Star-Lord.
Evan Star-Lord. We met him at MegaCon.
Megatron.
Yeah. It was a really great guy. We're really excited to have him join our team and play with us. And so we'll be making his character, and he will be debuting with us on the next time we meet, which the calendar says is the 7th of June. So for some of you guys are going to be in summertime. Woo, out of school.
Woo! Me especially.
And here I was hoping he was Canadian like me.
What's up?
I think that's the day of one of my conventions.
The Savannah MegaCon?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because if it is, then,
We might have to... Let's check. We've got a calendar for that. No.
Yeah. Go down 2 more.
Oh, I'm in the wrong month. Oh, the Savannah MegaCon is on that Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, we've already adjusted. I apologize. We've already fixed it. The next time we meet is the 14th of June. We will be here, and we will be having our new player, Evan Star-Lord. There, I fixed everything. We'll go back in the post-production of this video and just delete that whole section out.
We're not going to work that hard.
Please.
No.
I
Cover up
doubt
my
it.
mistakes.
Never. Just the big ones.
Just the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, 3 weeks from now, we'll be coming back to finish up, do our next part of the show. We'll have a new player with us, and hopefully we will have Sarah back as well. In the meantime, you guys hang out. 10 o'clock, I'm going to be back on the air with Paige, and we're going to be doing Friday Night Frights.
Woo!
She recently had a discovery of what the terror that has been haunting the Pennsylvanian town that she's been investigating. Tune in, check us out. It's kind of fun. I think it's fun. It's getting exciting.
We're good. We've studied up on some more horror stuff. Tension building.
Tension building. Dun dun dun.
It should be a scary time for both Paige and the audience.
Yep. So definitely check us out here. We'll be back at. I will be back at 10 o'clock with that. So now I'm going to go ahead and get ready to hop off and get started on that stuff. Do we have anything else we should announce?
We don't have anything Saturday.
This Saturday, I'm going to be over in the Shadowcasters Network for about an hour prior to Oz's show.
Mm-hmm.
Come watch me flounder as I try to find something to talk about for an entire hour. Radio saw it last time. He felt miserable for me. This time, I've set aside a guest speaker to come and talk to me, and it'll be great. We'll be going to be talking about the Shattered Isles, and it'll be cool. So I won't be by myself. Don't say that. You're going to jinx it. I don't want to be by myself. On Sunday, we're going to be playing Shadowrun. Game starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. Come watch the Shadowrunners struggle as they've just recently found a photograph of the president of UCAS shaking hands and being buddy-buddy with some terrible individuals, and now they have to figure out exactly what they're going to do with this information. Man, let's just hope they do something worthwhile, like try to blackmail the president of UCAS.
We're gonna steal the Declaration of Independence. That's on that level of stupid.
I'm just going to say, I've been running these guys for over 2 years. They've had some really great moments, such as forgetting their mask or forgetting to turn their deck off after hacking into a bank, you know. There's been some moments This is one of those moments.
It's one of them moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catch a ride. All right. We're done with our show. Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night. See you later. Bye.
Good night.